Hello and welcome. I'm an expert in modern hospitality operations, and I've spent a lot of time looking at what makes hotels and the people in them truly successful. One of the biggest factors? It's resilience. So today, we're going to dive into how to manage that intense pressure you feel at the front desk. This isn't just about surviving your shift, it's about building a career you can really thrive in. Let's get started. This whole session is designed for professionals just like you. We're focusing on practical, real-world skills that actually make a difference on the floor. We're going to explore how to handle the pressure of the front desk in a way that helps you build a long-lasting, rewarding career. So, first things first, let's really understand the environment we're talking about.
So let's talk about that environment. The front desk is so much more than just a check-in counter. It's really the hotel's command center. It's the first impression and the final goodbye. And because it plays such a central role, there's this constant unspoken pressure to be perfect. Because every single interaction truly matters.
And while that work is incredibly rewarding, let's be honest, it's also one of the most emotionally demanding jobs in the entire industry. You're the central hub for every guest's needs, their questions, and yeah, their complaints. And if that pressure goes unmanaged, it leads to a very, very significant problem. And that problem is burnout. Now, the most important thing to get about burnout is that it doesn't just happen overnight. It's not about one bad shift. As you can see here, it slowly develops. It's this gradual wearing down from stress that just chips away at your performance, your health, and worst of all, the very passion that brought you into hospitality in the first place. So, the real key here is to catch it early. Let's dig into what those initial signs of burnout actually look like so you can spot them and deal with them before they really take hold. You can see how this tends to play out. It starts with really subtle stuff, feeling just mentally wiped out after your shift, or getting super impatient over little things. Maybe you start to dread those peak check-in hours. If you ignore that, it escalates. You get more irritable, you can't concentrate, and then you see the real impact. You start making mistakes you'd never normally make, and that directly affects the guest experience. Okay, so seeing the signs is step one. But step two is all about adopting the right mindset to actually deal with them. And this means totally reframing how you think about stress at work. Honestly, this might be the most important takeaway from our entire conversation today. Feeling stressed is not a sign that you're weak or that you can't handle the job. Let me say that again. It is not a personal weakness. It is a completely normal human reaction to the kind of constant pressure the front desk demands. Just acknowledging that is a huge first step toward managing it. Let's just sit with this for a second. Real strength in this industry have nothing to do with suppressing your feelings or pretending you're a robot. True professionals are the ones who learn to manage their emotions effectively. It's a core skill, just as important as knowing how to use your property management system. All right, so with that new mindset, let's start building your practical, in-the-moment toolkit. These are simple, powerful things you can do right there at your desk to get your focus back when you feel that pressure starting to build. And it starts with something this simple. Just 3 slow breaths. I know, it sounds almost too simple, right? But when you're overwhelmed, the stress response actually messes with your brain's ability to think logically. Taking just 3 deep, slow breaths calms your nervous system and gives you a powerful mental reset. It works. And here's another one, the 30-second micro break. Look, this isn't about wasting time. This is about protecting your energy and your productivity. Just step back for half a minute, get a sip of water, stretch your shoulders. These tiny little pauses help release tension and stop that mental drain before it really sets in. Now, these individual tools are great, but they become so much more powerful when you're part of a team culture that gets it. So let's talk about the incredible power of peer support. The absolute best front desk teams I've ever seen operate like a single unit. The goal is to create a culture where it's okay to say, hey, I'm feeling the pressure, and where your colleagues are actually looking out for those signs in each other, ready to step in and help. And this is exactly what that support looks like in the real world. A simple offer like this from a coworker can be the one thing that keeps you from feeling totally overwhelmed during a rush. It's such a small gesture, but it has a massive impact on the whole team's resilience. So far, we've really focused on what you can do during your shift, right there in the thick of it. But your long-term ability to handle this pressure, your resilience, is built on the foundation you create for yourself outside of the hotel. I want you to start thinking of your well-being not as a luxury, but as a professional requirement. That means when it's your day off, you are truly off. You have to prioritize good sleep. It is absolutely critical for managing your emotions. And you need to fuel your body right and give your brain a break from screens. It all adds up.
And look, this connection is direct. It's undeniable. Taking care of yourself isn't something separate from your job. It's a fundamental part of being great at your job. When you actively look after your own well-being, you are directly investing in your performance, you're protecting that passion we talked about, and you're ensuring you can have a long, successful career.
Of course, hospitality is demanding. Nobody's denying that. But it absolutely does not have to lead to burnout. When you develop these skills, both for managing the moment and for building that long-term foundation, you can transform this demanding job into a career that is sustainable, deeply fulfilling, and genuinely fun. So, I'll leave you with a question to think about. From everything we've talked about today, what is one strategy that you're going to commit to? Maybe it's the 3 breaths, maybe it's that 30-second break, or maybe it's finally prioritizing your sleep. Whatever it is, pick one thing and start building your professional resilience today. Trust me, your future self is going to thank you for it.